Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2004 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8 MR. Now this is the 8th generation of the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, which was produced between 2003 and 2005. Improvements over its predecessor included Brembo brakes and Blistein shocks, though because this is the MR version, improvements went a bit further than that, with a revised limited slip front differential, 17-inch BBS wheels, aluminium roof, and a 6-speed manual instead of the more common 5-speed. Because this is also a UK edition of the vehicle, has 29 horsepower more than the standard Evo 8 did in the likes of the US. So yeah, this is easily one of the most versatile sports saloon cars out there, quite frankly, because it's got the all-wheel drive system and the rally underpinnings to make it usable on track roads that aren't tarmacked, and yeah, also because it's a four-door saloon with plenty of room, means it's also practical. Pretty sure the boot will be pretty sizable, but unfortunately for whatever reason we can't look in it. But yeah, the rear leg room is plentiful, and there's also plenty of room in the back. So yeah, practical car that can go off-road, but it's also more than capable of tearing up the track, also capable of dealing with normal road conditions, and yeah, it's plenty fast as well because of the power it's got underneath as well. So yeah, overall really rather versatile, and yeah, like I said, helped along by the engine. 2-litre turbocharged inline-4 engine producing 305 horsepower and 315 pounds-feet of torque. So yeah, like I said, this is a UK edition that has more power than the standard Evo, and that's because in the UK we had several different special versions that were released in the what was called the FQ range. So this is the FQ 300, which is the base model for the FQ range. There's also a 320, a 340 and a 400, all of which had 5 extra horsepower than the number it was given. And yeah, the FQ 400 was notable for being on top gear, where it was able to keep up with a Lamborghini Murcielago, which was mightily impressive. But that car was yeah, not all that great in terms of everyday use, whereas this gets that balance far better, quite frankly, because it doesn't have the turbo lag, doesn't have a hard ride, doesn't have a really rather useless turning circle, and yeah, it's still plenty quick enough as well. So yeah, really like this car. Like I said, it's easily one of the most versatile sports saloons out there. Can do pretty much everything, you know, the likes of an M5 can do, but more, quite frankly, because it has an all-wheel drive system. But it's also got bags of technology to keep it on the road, and yeah, plenty of power, but not from a massive engine. It's got quite a small engine, which obviously makes it a bit more economical than your inline sixes or your V8s, or you know, like the M5 with your V10s around the time of this. So yeah, really rather impressed by these the Lancer Evolutions, and it's a great shame that the Evo 10 was the last of the Evos, because that's a great car as well, but Mitsubishi could easily have gone further with their cars, quite frankly, and yeah, it was a great shame when they cancelled the Evo program back in 2016. But nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and see what this fantastic car can do. So yeah, a distinct advantage this car has over, you know, your Jaguars, your BMWs, your Audis and your Mercs is the fact that this does not weigh very much at all. Not only down to the aluminium roof, but also thanks to the fact it has aluminium front fenders and yeah, aluminium hood as well. Meaning that this car only weighs 3,109 pounds, which really isn't all that much when you consider the size of this car and the fact it is really rather practical. And yeah, that makes it really rather good in terms of acceleration as well as handling, because yeah, you can have all the technology in the world underneath, but you know, if you've got a really rather heavy car, that is going to make a negative impact on the handling overall, and yeah, that just isn't the case with this car. A lack of weight and all the technology with that all-wheel drive system really does make this far better than a lot of its competitors, especially the ones that, you know, are far more expensive. You know, you like your BMW M5s and your Jaguars and the like are far more expensive than this, and yet this can challenge them not just in terms of practicality and technology, but also in terms of acceleration and speed in general. Because yeah, it might not have anywhere near the horsepower as those cars, but because of that lightweightness and the all-wheel drive system, it's a match in terms of acceleration times, especially 0 to 60, as it can do 0 to 60 in 4.818 seconds, Got up to 112.7 seconds and going to a top speed of 170 miles an hour, which, you know, is faster than your German saloons, because obviously most of those are limited to 155. You have to ask for them to get rid of that limiter, and yeah, no such thing with this car. And yeah, because obviously it's got the all-wheel drive system as well, it's also more than capable of dealing with the rough stuff, something which up until lately you would be struggling to ask from your BMWs and your Mercs and your Jaguars. Now obviously BMW have recently adopted all-wheel drive for their M5, but because this has more rally technology underneath than just, you know, your all-wheel drive system, this would easily make mincemeat of the M5 when it comes to the rough stuff. And yeah, because it's obviously a lot lighter as well, it won't be getting bogged down in any of your muddy puddles or your or any mud surfaces in general, because it has the grip, it has the power, and it has the acceleration, and it isn't all that much in terms of weight either for it to help deal with all that stuff. So yeah, like I said, easily one of the most versatile cars, because it can deal with the tarmac, but when you take it onto something like this, it can deal with this easily as well. You know, there's very few cars like this that are as versatile as this, quite frankly. And yeah, like I said, it's a big shame that the Evo program has been terminated. Primarily because Mitsubishi now are just obsessed with hybrids and the like, and anything sporty is completely been erased, especially since they've also got an obsession with you know, crossovers and the like. And yeah, apparently there's no market for this kind of thing, which I think is rubbish, quite frankly. If BMW were able to do their kind of, you know, thing, as well as Audi and Mercedes-Benz and the like, then there's no reason why Mitsubishi can't do the same. Quite frankly, it just seems to me like they don't really want to, more than anything, which again doesn't really make any sense. A lot of car companies have halo cars, which might not necessarily sell by the truckload, but do make the brand look a lot better in terms of public image, and the likes of the M5 certainly does that for BMW, and this certainly did it for Mitsubishi back in the day. And now unfortunately that is no longer the case, so yeah. Oh well, at least we get to enjoy these kind of cars on games like this still, even though it wasn't in the game from the start. Came part of a free car pack in a recent update. But I am glad Mitsubishi are back on Forza Horizon, and yeah, they are really, really fun to drive, as well as, you know, easily able to compete against cars with far more powerful and far bigger engines, quite frankly. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.